Here's the former Cornhusker Brett Maher to get this one started. And we are underway from Ford Field. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
And the things every quarterback is looking to do.
Let's go. 8, read.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A good start offensively. 15 yards on the game's initial play.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the gun to give to Mixon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And now the Lions' defensive starters.
As Darius Slay continues to improve at the quarterback position, he may live up to his own nickname as the Slaymaker.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Let's go, D. Let's go.
2nd and 9 now. He's going to air it out deep for Green. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way down to the 5.
Here we go.
A big play there for Cincinnati. And even 40 yards. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. What does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you,
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Bengals take it right down and score on the opening drive. Excellent start there. First drive of the season. Big-time success putting it in the end zone.
And remember, that was done without any real map of how to do it. In other words, the deeper you get into the season, you got game film to work off of, tendencies to work off of. The first drive of the season, things can be entirely different than what you've seen in the past. It's a really good job of execution by them.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. So that drive 6 plays, 75 yards. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here are the Lions now as they get set for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford is a big-arm guy who's learned how to temper some of his throws. Actually has added a lot more touch and accuracy as his career has gone along. Big-time confidence in his arm, though. Any throw you want, he can make it.
Now a first down throw. Stafford nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Lawson. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now it's Stafford. A throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game would be ideal.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target, but it's going to be 2nd down. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's got Green. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. That catch for his career's number 731, and that's the number that Calvin Johnson ended with when he stopped his career in 2016.
Yeah, what could have been for him. So maybe now what we'll see is someone else continue to elevate their game and put this number well in his rearview mirror. I think 800, not out of line here.
They'll give it to Mixon. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Another try for Mixon. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Maybe the first big test of the season here on both sides. This is 3rd and goal. He'll look to throw. That's going to be caught by Ross for a Bengal touchdown. It's a 6-yard touchdown pass. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. They've got to be thrilled on the road right now. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, and quickly trying to make it 14-0.
Yeah, and mentioned it already. On the road, to be able to go into someone else's house and establish a start like that, obviously your confidence rises in a big way, and you're putting some doubt in their minds.
Now the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it ends with a Bengals score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early. Probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. The defensive starters now for Cincinnati.
Geno Atkins is an absolute force as a defensive tackle. Forces every offense that he plays against to alter their game plan.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. Back to throw, Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. $14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Right here, right here.
Now Joe Mixon. Good move, but not much to show for it. Still inside the 5. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Well, just like you said, they've got the lead, don't do anything silly, run the football, and that's what they did.
They would have liked to have created a little more room for their punter, but he'll take what they gave him, and he'll go out there now and try and get the ball off and help his defense.
Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48, and the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive, but at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. The throw over the middle, taken in. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 7 yards there and a 1st down. A 1st down carry here for Johnson. Looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage and that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd down. Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 17-yard line.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
The Lions into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. From the gun, here's Stafford. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The kick by Maher is good, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
We often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. Got a man open. It's Ross. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down. So from the 36 now, first their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy?
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Going deep downfield for Ross. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Dumps it off to Mixon. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on third down. They'll look to throw here. And some room to roam now. There he goes right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. You think you're going into halftime with a good-sized lead. Not so fast. That pick six really changes the complexion. Probably also changes the halftime speech.
No doubt about it. Instead of going in relaxed, you're probably a little more uptight right now. Probably a little bit angry. Let's see if they can get their focus back.
Brett Maher on for the extra point. And he's got it. That cuts the lead. It's now 14 to 10. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, like I said, he's looked pretty good to this point.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. And that's been a back-and-forth game, all tied in the second quarter. From there, let's hop over to New England. Check out the Patriots at home in Foxborough. And in that one, it's the visiting Dolphins who are out in front. The Dolphins looking to get their season off on the right foot. They've got the lead on the road. Finally, we'll save the biggest for last as we head to AT&T Stadium to see what's happening with the Cowboys at home in Arlington. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Raiders. The Cowboys locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Let's go.
The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. A throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Now Johnson. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Stafford. He'll find Taylor. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Again, it's Mixon. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down at about the length of the football. They'll set up to throw.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Well, forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down. 2nd and 10. That's caught by the tight end, Drew Sample. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The last play on the completion got him half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
A lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of the first after a gain of about 9. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Here's a quick throw complete to Galladay. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
3rd and 2, Stafford. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
And we're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Detroit. Wiggles free. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full street. Hey, look,
they'll get this out wide to Boyd. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go. 18.
Here's 2nd and 8. Finding Green complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down. Mixon with a first down carry. Mixon hit, and the ball is out. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief, because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it, and that's exactly what they did.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays for one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Stafford, this pass complete to Higgins. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now Stafford. He'll get this one to Galladay. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Late game, that hurts. Take the touchdown off the board.
No doubt about it, and this is where you make a great movie scene, right? Go in, rally the team. Okay, we lost points.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Geno Atkins able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a second and very long. Now Stafford. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Andrew Billings, he's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. To throw is Stafford. Screen play, Johnson. Well, the screen gets 7, but it's not enough, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They snap it to Stafford. Looking downfield, and this is caught inside the 5. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively, all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. They'll run it with Johnson, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. He'll look to throw.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their 1st touchdown.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high because mentally you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone, we're thinking we're giving up 3, we just want to give up 6. In this case, they end up not giving up the touchdown at all. They've got to feel great about what they got done.
So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Once again, they run with Mixon. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Back to throw here. Got a man. It's Ross, complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in week 1. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for Cincinnati, not much to complain about here. They come in and steal a victory in a tie on a Sunday night. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they go down.